Good morning, Monday, October the 21st, and I can't believe we're there. Do you know what I mean? Sort of, we're bordering on sort of Halloween now, and I just can't work out where the year's gone. It's mad. So last week actually was quite a positive, good video, wasn't it? You know, the weather pretty much, apart from the Monday, played ball. Well, it's Monday today, and it's not raining. It's advertised to not rain all week leading up to it, and it doesn't look as though it's going to. It's a bit overcast, and it rained very, very heavy yesterday morning. There's still puddles about, but from the afternoon onwards yesterday it hasn't rained, so the lawns we're doing today I don't think it'd be too much of an issue. We've got 4 lawns to go to, so they're going to be aerations, feeding, maybe a little bit of seeding here and there, just overseeding, nothing major. And then the lawn which the aerator broke down on, I will then revisit that one and get that one finished off. So 4 houses, all very close to each other. 2 are next door, and yeah, there'll be a good day's work there. What I've got on board today is obviously the backpack blower, billy goat blower, aerator, sprayer, fertilizer spreaders there, a couple of bags of fertilizer. That should be more than enough for what we need. I'm just going to chuck some seed on as well, and then yeah, then I think we'll be ready to go. Okay, so you may have seen this one in previous videos. It always struggles under the trees, as you can imagine, but yeah, all done. So all I've done there is aerated, fed, and then where there was some sort of poor areas. Actually, I've just forgotten a bit. There's a bit over there, a bit there. Okay, so we're on to the second house now. The client came out and started talking to me when I was doing that last bit of video there, so I had to sort of stop abruptly. So this lawn, today's visit actually marks 10 years of looking after this lawn. It's in quite a few of my videos. It's changed quite a few times over the years. There's been like a play area at the back now. There's now the office. There's the swing here. Etc, etc. But this, when I first took over from this, I think this house was a bedsit beforehand, or a B&B or something like that. So the lawn just basically had been mown every now and again, and it literally was just moss and weeds. That's all it was. So yeah, they called me in the autumn of 2014 and sprayed the weeds, put a little feed down, and then did an iron treatment in the springtime, and then gave it the scarifying of its life, overseeded, topsoiled, top dressed, and it's been pretty decent since. I mean, at the minute, you know, obviously you've got the goal there, so it's under some heavy wear, but generally for the amount of wear it does get, it's looking pretty good. So one thing about coming here, which has become easier over the years, is every year I used to do an Instagram post, and I'll try and find it and put it in here now, but the cedar tree has gone, and we're now replaced with this. So this is much better. You can actually see where the stump is, because it's a lot lower down there. So obviously it's just sunk down a little bit, but it's made it a hell of a lot easier trying to get through here. So that is great. So you'll remember this one from a couple of weeks ago when the aerator broke. So it was really long, so we cut it a couple of times. It still is really long, but obviously then the aerator, we fed it and what have you, and it's all lush and green now, isn't it? But the aerator broke, and I had to come back, so I'm back today. However, although I'm only here to solid tine, I've got the backpack, I've got the billy goat blower. So just before, as soon as I got here, I just said to him, look, normally what I would do is, kind of depends when he gets me in, but I would do a standalone leaf clearance job once all the leaves are down. But I'm here, there's a load of leaves down, so I said, do you want me to give it a quick clearance, not going to town, getting it out of every little nook and cranny as I normally would do, just the stuff that is on the leaves. I said more so just a quick once over, only because it's now 3:30 and it's getting dark. So and he said, yeah, go for it. So yeah, a nice little extra job while I'm here as well. So plenty of leaves. If you remember, was it springtime I was here, and all these trees were being cut down, or the middle sections were being taken out, which is a bit weird. But what it will mean is there'll be less leaves this year, you would think. So it'll be interesting to see. So I normally come here first week of December to do a leaf clearance. So we shall see how many extra leaves they are, and bearing in mind that I'm already clearing these ones as well in October. So I'm just picking up the backpack blower just to get the final bits, which are sort of in and around. Basically, it's get it through the gate. But this has taken probably just over 10 minutes, probably, to get all the leaves, as you saw, down into that corner. And most of them have gone through. So it's very efficient, that blower. Okay, so there we go. So it's all been solid tined. So what I did was basically just go around and around, and then you can just sort of see that track to the office there. That bit's really compacted because that's where he walks multiple times a day, I guess. So I've just gone over that a few times just to sort of try and relieve that compaction. And it's rather than like the hollow core, it's just a case of just like smashing the ground up as best I can. It is what it is, you know. Ideally you'd have a path put in, but then you'd have a path in the middle of your lawn, so when you're trying to play football or whatever, you've got a... But when you've got a path in the middle of the lawn, it's not ideal for when you're playing football. So yeah, it's just one of those. We do the best we can. So yeah, we had about 30 seconds of rain today, and that was it. So although it's been a bit gloomy and overcast, it's been alright. So yeah, so mowing week this week. So tomorrow's all the Tuesday fortnightlies, and if I can, I'll get a few more sort of little bit of lawn treatments in. Mornings, it's Tuesday now, so yesterday went pretty well. I got everything done that I needed to do, which is the minimum you can ask for, I suppose. It rained for about 30 seconds randomly, but that was about it. Enough for me to get a little bit worried, but then it passed, and that was that. So yeah, yesterday was a good day, and I've been recording a lot of negative stuff, so I think it's really important to, on a positive day when everything goes to plan, to just say, yeah, it was great. And then I was like, great, I'm going to get back, get the van unloaded, get everything set up for today. That was the plan. However, if I just sort of stand over here a little bit, I'll just put in here. I didn't witness an accident on the way home from work, but I did arrive pretty quick after it happened. So there's sort of 2 points. One is that I actually thought the car was on fire when I first sort of got there, because I could see what looked like smoke immediately. I've got a fire extinguisher on board, so I grabbed that, ran down there, and actually it was all the airbags going off, like I don't know what's in the airbags, like powder, which sort of just sort of like billowing out of the sort of the one open door. So actually that's what it was. But inevitably there was an off-duty police officer who was sort of first on scene, and she was very calm, and she was dealing with it all with the phone, etc, etc. And then it turned out one of the guys, his glasses had gone flying and he couldn't see anything. So I spent half my time on my hands and knees looking for his glasses, found them, so that worked out quite well. There wasn't really anything else for me to do there except, and I'm just going to track back on this because I think this is a little bit relevant to the industry that we do, particularly if you do this professionally. And that was in springtime. I went on a first aid course, and I've done many over the years, but you should keep redoing them because they last for about 3 years or whatever. And for the first time, because the last time I did one would have been when I was at the golf course, so mine was well out of date. And one of the things we spoke about was 3 What Word, which is an app that I'm aware of, but I've never really given it any time or any thought. And we were on it was a dual carriage road, but pretty well known road for the area that I sort of live in. But actually precisely where we were as to which junction for the emergency services to kind of get on was the kind of the important key. And as I say, the lady was an off-duty police officer who was on the phone liaising with them, and she was very clear, she was very calm, and you could just see her training was unbelievable, really. However, she was on her phone, but she was also like trying to give them the three words, but you know, when you were speaking on your phone and trying to use it for other stuff at the same time. However, I overheard the conversation. I have it on my phone, and the reason why I thought I'd use it is because if I was working at one of my clients' houses, turned my ankle, ended up breaking my leg or something, actually trying to describe where I am is very difficult, particularly where you might be miles away, or not miles, but a long way away from where you've left the van, or actually the address for the property, which I'm not going to know the postcode for all my properties off the top of my head. I could probably actually, in fact, I could access them on my phone through the invoicing app. However, I know that the ambulance in this case may be sent to the main gates, which, and if I know the client's not in, I know no one's opening those gates, where actually they need to be coming around to sort of, let's call it the trades entrance, where there aren't any electric gates or anything like that. So I thought actually this really kind of resonated with me, that this is a really good and useful app, but also just for deliveries. If you want deliveries made to not the front of the house but the back of the house, if it's what that kind of you know, large estate or something like that. So by having what 3-word app on my phone, having never had to use it yet, by overhearing the conversation I was able to just quickly get it up, show her, she was able to read the words out, job done. So I couldn't do much to help, but I did a little bit, and but however that did mean that I was really late getting home last night, so I didn't get a chance to do any of the plans of unloading and things like that. But this stuff happens, doesn't it? So anyway, today's fortnightly mowing, as I said yesterday, I think, so it's the usual Tuesday run. It's a busy day today. I've got 2 new clients, or it's the first Tuesday I'm going to be doing it with 2 more clients. So one of the new clients is the one that I totally renovated and put the fleece lining down on and stuff. I probably won't get to that one today. I'll have more time to do that one tomorrow. The newish one, which was really, really long, and I've hacked that down twice. This will be the first week, I think, when I'll do it on the same day as a full run, if you like. So that'll be quite good, because I'll have 2 next door to each other there, so I'll be able to park up on one drive and then just push the mower from one house to the other house. So that'll work really well. So yeah, lots going on, but ultimately blue sky. So I've just been at the previous house, and there was an estate agent looking around, and some potential buyers. So said good morning to the buyers. We smiled and waved and things like that. I mean, they're only potential at the moment, but it's always good to sort of get in with them, because if they do buy the house, they might want to maintain your services. So that's a little worthwhile exercise. Also, the estate agent stuck her head out the door and said that she was going to give me a call about a job. She said actually at her house, but I always think estate agents are quite good to get in with, because they have access to many a property. One of my clients is an estate agent for Savills, and she's been able to get me some good work through that. So okay, so anyway, we're at the second job of the day, and this is just, obviously they've got a dog, but this is just a mow, a fortnightly mow, that's all it is. So yeah, and as of a couple of weeks ago, as you saw, I have the house next door too, so there's no one in on either, so I'm just going to walk around once I've done this one. So yeah, pretty good. It's all about grouping, right? And we've just come next door. Look at that, blue sky. And so this is a 2-week cut. If you remember the last time I came in, it was the time before that was really, really long. So yeah, it's greened up nicely, and it's just sort of getting sort of an even keel on it. The problem is obviously the areas where the dog's weeing is highly fertilizing those areas. Now we've got it under control, we'll now look at a little bit of lawn care perhaps, but I certainly wasn't going to do anything until it was under control. Okay, so 4th property of the day, a little fortnightly. It's just the front lawn, just striped up nice. It was very leafy, But there you go, on to the next. Okay, lawn number 5, all striped up. So this is house number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. There we go, all striped up. Probably do lawn care here next week. A lot of moss coming in straight away, but as you can see, it's a very shaded, and the leaves, just those leaves are big leaves which sit down on there, so yeah, you can see sort of the moss coming in about there. But yeah, other than that, not bad. Okay, so second to last property of the day. This is one I was going to do tomorrow, but actually I've decided I've got enough time. So this is the big reveal. This is the one I did 2 weeks ago. See you later. I will do. Oh, perfect. Okay, and here's the back. I'm just going to take the U-nails out, and then yeah, we'll do the big reveal again. Okay, so I am going to use the Hater 41 to cut this. I'm going to use it for a couple of reasons. One, because they're small lawns, so you want a small mower. Secondly, it's got the roller on it. So where I've top dressed it, there's a few blemishes and stuff like that. So I just want it a little bit more compacted down. I also want a nice clean cut. And if you've seen any of my videos, as good as the Ego is, it's not a clean cut. It does tear it. There's not enough power with it. So this will ensure that I've got the power to get a clean cut, and you want a clean cut on new seedlings. And also, this is the first time the clients are going to see their lawn, so let's give them a nice stripe to really sort of show them how the improvements and etc. And also there's also going to be you know, a lot of people driving past, especially when you get to a front lawn, who are going to have seen the white cover on it thinking, what the hell's going on there, what's that all about? And today, you know, they're going to drive past, they're going to go, oh, cover's gone, and then they'll see the stripes. So yeah, that is what we're going to do. Shock factor. Setting wise, I don't know, I've no idea. So what I've put it down, what you tend to do is put it on its highest setting and then knock it down. I'm only looking to take the tops off the established growth. That's all I want to do at this stage. So I've put it on setting 5. I think that'll be far enough. I think I'll end up cutting most of it on 5. I wouldn't really want to go any lower. But if you're unsure, stick it on 7, and then work your way down to something that you find is the right height. Okay, there we go. It looks pretty hairy, and that's because it is, but I don't want to stress it out. I want to keep it as much growth in there as I can to protect the seedlings should we have a frost or something like that. But equally, I want the seedlings to be able to get light, so it's that balancing act. So anyway, here we go, first cut. You're not trying to, and then what we'll do is we just bring it down incrementally. Now that was cut on setting 5. I think I'd probably only now go down to 4 if I'm completely honest over the winter period. And then I'd be looking to get it down to 3 for a normal height. But yeah, there we go. Do the back now. So it's all striped up. So there's only really 2 things I would have done. The first being, as I said, I would have liked to have sprayed the weeds first. But with the weather, it just wasn't possible. Otherwise, we would have just run out of time to get this done. Secondly, I always advocate when you're doing your first cut to do your first cut on a dry day, so always wait till the afternoon so that the dew's burnt off, because you want a nice clean cut, and a dry cut is a clean cut. Also, if there's any seed that hasn't quite sort of really sort of the rooting sort of dug in, if you like, it can lift up, and if you've got a wet roller, stuff can stick to it, so any seed that hasn't fully opened might stick to the roller, and seedlings which aren't really sort of fastened into the ground, they might sort of be pulled out as well on the wheels or the roller. So I'd always advocate for a dry cut. Unfortunately, It's just the way it is, and this is the issue with gardening, is that the gardener had seconds before absolutely saturated the flower beds, and obviously the bits of grass around those beds and pots and what have you. So in that respect, it wasn't ideal, but you know, it is what it is. I can't come back just because of that. So there we go. On to the next. Okay, and on to the last house for today. So a little bit of a leaf clear up, bit of a cut back. I cut that all down last week. How is this happening? It's raining, but there's blue sky. Okay, so the rain has come. I didn't realise it was going to rain today, in fact, but we're done. So so that's worked out perfect. No idea what the time is actually. Okay, so it's half past.
Not my fault. No, squeeze on.
It's 4:30. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I don't know if that's a record or not. 10 houses. But there you go. 10. And that was 4:30. I think I started at 8:40 maybe. It's a little bit, got caught up in a bit of school traffic. So 8:42, and it's, let's say it's 4:30, it's 4:25 now. So not bad. So that is literally Camberley, Yateley and Fleet, technically Church Crookham I suppose. They're all very close to each other. So yeah, decent little route. As I say, today there's been the normal route +2. So yeah, and it's 4:30 now. So will I get it done at Christmas? Possibly. That's, I think through November I'll be fine. What I try and do is the final cut just before Christmas. Can I get this day done? Possibly. I think it'd probably be light enough at 8 o'clock to start. So so yeah, I think this route works, whatever the season. So cool. Right, well it's raining proper hard now, so I have timed this to perfection. Okay, so I noticed this morning that there's a real sort of change in the weather with regards to it being really quite dark. So maybe not weather, but just that time of year. So fortunately, in the container, we do have lights. I'll take this outside now. But this is probably one of the best things I bought. When I first bought the house we had, needed a new power drill. They had a real good deal on the Bosch one, so that came with 3 batteries, so I bought that. So essentially I ended up buying this later down the road, so I've kind of picked my poison with hand tools, or whatever the phrase is. So yeah, this Bosch light, it's brilliant. It's about 30 quid, I think, 29, 28 pounds without the battery. At Screwfix Live I picked up another battery. The new batteries now have the settings on them, so that's brilliant. For this one I just leave in the container, and then I can check it to see. But this, I mean, this little battery, this little 2, lasts forever, and it's, as I say, it's brilliant, and it'll last forever. So yeah, so I just took it up there, and it basically just lives there, and that's my lighting for the container now. So it's perfect. Anyway, two probable leaf clearances. I can't see that I'm going to be mowing today, just because there'd probably be too many leaves down. Maybe I'll cut the fronts but not the backs, something along those lines. And then a aeration, which was the one I couldn't get done 2 weeks ago, and then they were away, etc, etc. So and then a little seeding job. So that's the plan for today. Okay, so there we are. all the not mowing today, just going to collect all the leaves. Got the back garden to do as well. Back garden's not so bad because it's just blown to the back into sort of the wooded area, so this all needs to be collected. The client does have a brown bin, so I will fill that as much as I can, and then the rest of it will then just be taken to the back and then put out in the kind of the wooded area. And this is the back area, so yeah, very leafy, and of course that will all just go directly in that direction. Oh, the leaves have just kept coming down, so I mean obviously it's a hell of a lot better than what it was, but you can see from the road it's there's a lot of leaves back down again, so it's definitely leaf season. These two tines, I'm just taking the solid tines off and putting the hollow tines back on. Now it's much easier to there's basically two stones wedged in there from last time, if you can see that, and it's like really difficult to get it out. It's much easier to do it before you put the tines on, because then you've got to kind of get something underneath and like whack it up, because it's harder to push something down there, particularly if they're stuck. So I'm going to have to get a hammer, and I probably won't be able to film it because I don't have a tripod, and it's definitely be a two-handed job. But yeah, just a little top tip there, change that up before you put them on. Okay, morning, Thursday. I was just walking through the garage, the light was off at the time. I'll do it just so you see the effect. And I just saw sort of that flash caught my eye. Now I haven't charged these batteries in weeks, maybe even longer. Haven't used them either, and I noticed this is flashing. It's also hot to touch, so I have no idea whether this is going to explode or whatever could happen. I've just done an Instagram post and tagged a few people in who I think might be able to help me. No idea what you do with these, geez. So anyway, we'll wait to find out as to what the remedy is, but doesn't give you confidence, does it? Okay, so you may remember this hedge. The swimming pool's the other side. Now there's a load of work going on. I need to lay a pipe about here, so I'm basically going to take it back as far as I can, so that the digger can get basically up this gap. I'll show you what it looks like in a bit. Okay, so that's as far back as I can go without taking the fence out. They seem to think the fence is fine. It's a 80 centimetre, 800 mil, is it? Digger, little small one, so that should get through here enough. So got that down, just using the little Lego, and also there's a few bits which are a bit too thick. So I've got the battery Toro. I just need to knock this bit out. Just, you can see where the trench is already dug there, so it just needs to come out here. So basically to the fence there, and then kind of up as high as I've gone kind of here for the moment. Whether I take the rest of it out at a later date, I don't know. We'll just see. Okay, so here we are, all done. So they're pretty happy they can get a digger through here. It got quite thin and narrow here, so I've took that bit back, and I think during the winter we'll probably take the whole thing back anyway. That was the plan last time I did it, that we'd probably cut back it in. So yeah, all done. Just created some room here. The ivy had got out of hand, so I've just cut it back here. I mean, this will probably all be redeveloped soon enough, but it's just enough to get the digger through. Okay, so this is a Thursday lawn. It is taking shape. Finally, there is a tree surgeon coming to sort these trees out, or coming to quote for them anyway. So that's the reason why, as I say, I haven't done the major work yet. But considering this was hollow cord this time last week, it's not looking too bad. Okay, where's the light switch? So as you can see, that is still flashing. So thank you to everyone, the 3 people who got back to me regarding this flashing. Still feels a bit warm. Essentially, through a lack of use, this is now going into hibernation, so it's discharging itself. So it's going to basically remove the charge from the battery down to about 30%, and that's where it wants to sit at. And it's something that these batteries do, apparently. But obviously when you see it kicking into life, having not been used for a while, it's you're a little bit concerned, because you hear these horror stories about batteries catching fire and stuff like that. So okay, so leaves are pretty much cleared. They're just down the bottom. I just need the what I do is, I don't know if you can see the blower down there. There you go. So what I do is I set the blower up, blowing all the leaves through the gates, and then with the backpack I just blow the leaves from either side just into the sort of the force of the chute, and it just takes them off and on. Striped the front up, it wasn't too bad for leaves, and then I've striped up the lawn over there as well. So yeah, just getting the backpack now, and then we'll be good to go to finish that one off. Okay, so last week I picked up all those leaves, and I said I think the majority of them will be down, if they're not all down, by this week. So let's have a look. Well, most of them are down. So excuse me, this will probably be the final sort of leaf tidy up out the front, apart from these little cherry blossoms. So time, you can see the little bit of dirt in there, so time for a new filter, methinks. It does actually, every now and again, it's been cutting out, so I just give this a good shake, get the dirt out of the way, and then it runs fine. So anyways, just been onto Amazon, got myself a new filter, and good to go. Okay, so there we go. That is pretty much the week done. So again, what a difference a positive week makes, and that's all just comes down to the weather, really. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next week, which is Soltex. Not sure if I'm going, or I would like to go, but we'll just have to see. So watch this space.